All right, hi everyone out there. This is Day Trader Rockstar, and I'm bringing you a special educational video this weekend. I get a lot of questions on the radio show, daytradingradio.com, about the indicators I use to pick my positions and my market timing. So I want to go over exactly today my top 5 indicators and how do I set them up, and how important they are to have those. So hopefully you'll gain some benefit from this. Feel free to ask me any questions on this. You know how to do that. If you come to the radio each day, I have a little communicator there, so I might not go into the in-depth into these, but I'm going to give you a good basic outline of what I'm using and how you could set them up and how they react to each other. All right, so let's get going. The first one I use is the stochastic indicator on the 5-minute chart on the S&P. All right, and as a basic, that's the basic S&P cash index. I use this one in the 5-minute, and 14.3 is the parameters I use on the when you want to set your stochastics up. So you want to set it up to 14.3, the D and the K, fast and the slow, and that's just another whole different video just about that. And I actually did a couple videos on that, so if you do a search on the YouTube or wherever you find this video, just do a search for that and you'll find out a better video on how to trade this stochastics. Alright, so this is my major indicator on the 5-minute S&P chart, and when I'm going to give you an example right here. As we saw on Friday's market, we had an oversold area, and we have either you trade this either on the oversold or overbought areas, and this is either between above 80 or below 20, and that's when I mainly use these indicators. I also use them when they start flattening out. I also use them to determine how there's a check mark in it. You're going to get a lot of different reads on the stochastics, so you have to be able to learn how to read this, and it just takes time, and I'll be doing a lot more videos on this. But in this case, this is what actually around 12:30, 1 o'clock, actually around 1 o'clock, I was seeing an oversold indicator on the stochastics, and I'll just line this right up here. So that was one indicator, was letting me know that the market was about to bounce. All right, let's go back over some of the other indicators here. The moving average on your charts. So either you're dealing with a 5-minute chart, a 3-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, and you break it down to 15-minute charts, 60-minute charts, and the daily charts. Usually when you're into day trading, you usually stick to a 5-minute chart or less, a 3-minute or 1-minute chart. I usually use a 1-minute chart on my charts that I'm watching, tick by tick, and I use a 5-minute chart also to back those patterns up, and also to watch the stochastics on that. So my main chart, my big market chart, I used a 5-minute chart on, so that's what I'm going to be looking at. That, and the two on the 5-minute chart, the two best moving averages I found is the 200 period and the 50 period moving average. The 200 being the strongest, the 50 being right up there next. So normally we don't usually get down to the 200, and the 50 is the one that I usually really end up relying on, and it's the EMA instead of the SMA. Alright, and now let's take a look at that chart there, and as you can see, we were right down on the 50 period EMA on the 5-minute chart here on Friday, and we're holding it. And I was saying, look, we're holding the EMA. It's very important that we hold this. So now, while we were holding this, a little before 1:30 or a little before 1 o'clock, we were holding this. I noticed this stochastics coming down into an oversold area. So now we had two indicators lining up. We're holding on to this level, and we're also getting oversold up here. So that's starting to look really good. So then another one of my top indicators, either a chart pattern. I start looking at the chart patterns because I am a chartist. So I'll look for certain patterns: a double bottom, inverted head and shoulders, a cup and handle, different patterns like that. In this case, what caught my attention is we weren't making a lower low here. So this is a very bullish scenario here. We made a low here. I was actually waiting for us to get down to and make a double bottom. A double bottom would be right around here, but instead we ended up hanging out at this level. So I'm seeing some good strength here, and it's much more bullish. So all of a sudden we're getting oversold on the stochastics. We're holding this moving average, and we're not making a double bottom, which would have been fine too, but we're holding levels here. So this is called a higher low, which is a bullish chart pattern. So again, this is 3 indicators. Then we have the pivot points, and the pivot points I actually have on my other charts that I use that intraday, and I'm not, you know, I have that. I don't have that up, and I haven't checked that, but it's very important to know your pivot points. Again, there's some videos out there on pivot points. Just check them out. I'm not exactly sure how the pivot points were lining up on this trade because I don't have those other charts up there just to check them right there. But I'm sure we were right on one of the pivot points, and it was going to show us some support. And my last top of my indicators is the time of day indicator. And you know, during the day, there's certain time periods when the market makes these moves. Of course, you have your 9:30 open where you usually get a move, and then you have your 10 o'clock reactionary, either reversal or a change of trend at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock is usually a good time. Then another time we have is, well, there's a lot of people look at different times. I usually look at the 10 o'clock hour. And then you look after lunch hour, usually between 1 and 1:30, you start to get a move. And then you have the 2:20 market, and that usually happens between 2:15 and 2:30. You usually see a nice move in the market. And you just want to consider that because then right at the end of lunch, it was the 1 o'clock area. So then you think more people are going to start coming back. They're going to be seeing this level here, holding on. And then and something was going to possibly happen here. So then I was saying, you know, it looks like everything else. There's other factors too you want to watch: relative strength, trend lines, certain type of candlesticks, and general market time and feeling the pulse of the market. What I mean by that is, if you trade each day, you start to get a feel of how the market's reacting each day. If the market feels like selling off at the end of the day, you might feel that. You know, then you get used to like certain times of the day when market starts to buy and sell and it goes into a wave. You actually start to become one with the market. It's kind of a Zen-like feeling, but I know some of the people out there understand it because they are, you know, they're in the market each day. So that's something that you have to just learn to understand and stuff. So as you see, this is the trade we had on Friday. It was a perfect setup. We also had that trend line right here, and at 1 o'clock everything was holding strong. We had that bounce, and I actually called that bounce before. I said we're going to get a big bounce here. We're probably going to get a big rally, and we did. We bounced up right through the trend line. Everything triggered. Stochastics jumped up, and then once we got above that 50 period, the 20 period moving average, you probably could have just traded this one right up with your stop at the 20 period moving average. So it's very important. I wanted to get over those important indicators for you and make sure that you understand each of them and how I do my timing during the day. And I hope this helps you out. Any questions, you could definitely get back to me on that. And again, I didn't go into depth on all these, but I will go into depth in later videos. I just wanted to give you a basic outline, a little something to think about over the weekend, and hope this helps. All right? So I'll talk to you soon. Definitely see you on Monday morning.